says that a person is to know the obligation to have bitachon, trust in Hashem, appears in many psukim in the Torah. It's too many to count, he says. And therefore, whoever lacks bitachon, it is considered a great sin. So therefore, a person thinks, God forbid, oh, bitachon, I know what that is. That's like a nice, fluffy idea that, when things go rough, you just say, don't worry about it, everything's going to be okay, Hashem's going to take care of us. But you don't really believe that, or you don't really have to do that. Come on, push comes to shove, you got to do ishtadlut. First is to know that it's obligatory. It's a must. You have to stress it so importantly, says the Bet Levi, that you must have bitachon to calm our fears and to have a happy life. And it's an obligation on every single Jew, just like the Torah commands us to keep Shabbat, just like the Torah commands us to keep kosher, just like the Torah says give tzedakah. Hashem also commanded us to have bitachon, and if you do not, you should know that you didn't fulfill the mitzvah. It's like saying, I didn't put on tefillin today. Why? You missed on the mitzvah. Oh, I had this test earlier today about money. I didn't have bitachon. I was nervous, wrecked the whole day. I had anxiety. It's the same thing as you didn't put on tefillin. Why didn't you have bitachon? You must have bitachon. Why didn't you have bitachon? No, it was too hard for me. Come on, is really something going to happen? How is Hashem going to take care of me? Yeah, it means you got to work on it. The guy says, I can't wake up on time. I wake up always in the afternoon, 1 in the afternoon. I don't have time to put on tefillin. I have to go to work. Right away I have to go to work. I don't know time to put on tefillin. Why? Wake up early. Go to shul. Put on tefillin. You're right. You're right. I should. That's the right thing to do. So a person who's anxiety, he's stressed out, you should tell him, you shouldn't be stressed. You should work on it. Go learn what it means to have bitachon. You should have bitachon. You're right. That's true. I should have bitachon. I'm going to work on it. That's how a person's mentality should be. You shouldn't say, oh, bitachon, it's like a nice thing if you're like Breslev or whatever, then you do it. No. Every single Jew must have bitachon. Therefore, one who does not have bitachon, it's because you didn't learn. It's because you have ignorance in this matter. And you should go and learn the importance of it, what it means to bitachon, why it's so special, how many commandments in the Torah there's bitachon, to command us that bitachon. And then you'll start being able to do it, just like any other mitzvah. You don't do this mitzvah, why? Because you didn't learn about it. You don't know the laws, you don't know the importance of it, but once you hear a shiur about it, once you go open a book about it, you'll be motivated, you'll be excited to do it. Therefore, bitachon is the same thing. That's why we see so many people today exploding all over the place. So many bitachon groups, so many bitachon classes, so many bitachon shiurim, so many WhatsApp groups, all these things, because people don't know so much about it today, and they need it, because when we go through so much stress, more than we ever did before, so much more so, we should go and do more research about it. So therefore, he says, Rabbi Zino writes in Shara Tshuva, one who does not have bitachon, he transgresses the negative commandment of it says, when you go out to battle against your enemy, and you see the horse and chariot, and people more numerous than you shall not fear them, the Torah says. For God, Hashem, your God, is with you. The Bukharians were always right. As the Babo said to his grandson, what about Hashem is with you? He was right. And that's the Torah obligation, to believe Hashem is with you. And if you're scared, you're not fulfilling this mitzvah. It's a negative transgression to be afraid when HaKadosh Baruch Hu is with you. So therefore, a person has to know that it is not just a positive mitzvah, says the Rabbi Zino. It's a negative. It's a negative transgression to go and have fear. Also, the Bet Levi says that bitachon also comes from forgetting about HaKadosh Baruch Hu. A lot of times, a person has to remember Olam Haba. Right? There's 10 remembrances we say in the end of the prayers. I remember Olam Haba. I remember Tchiat HaMetim. A person has to constantly remind himself that Hashem exists, that Hashem is here, Hashem is always with me, and therefore a person can have a lapse in bitachon and get nervous because he forgot that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is with him. So therefore, the person has to make sure that he fulfills this. We know the Gemara Sechmakot Chavdalet tells us that if you take the whole Torah and summarize into one pasuk, which would it be? So the Gemara says the Habakkuk came, the Navi, and he said, I'll tell you the whole Torah in one pasuk. What's the whole Torah in one pasuk? He says, Tzaddik b'emunato yihyeh. The tzaddik, the righteous man, with his emunah, he shall live. If you have emunah, you live. Meaning, your life is a life. If you don't have emunah, you don't have bitachon, you feel your life is not a life. Everything, I don't know what's going to be, how is it going to be, stress, anxiety, from one problem to the next, and he has no God, so therefore he doesn't know what to do and who to rely on. But if you have emunah, bitachon, you feel your life will be alive. Now, you should know that a person who works in a hospital, right? He's a doctor, he just got his first job. The director comes to him and tells to him, if you have any doubts, if you have not sure what to do, just call one of the more experienced doctors to help you, Therefore, what happens? The new doctor had a situation. The mashal is the new doctor had a situation where there was a sick patient, very critically ill, and he knows he should call for help. But what? He feels uncomfortable. He doesn't know. He says, let me do the operation myself. I'll take him to the ER. I'll put him in the operating room myself. Right? And he says, I don't want to bother anybody, or I don't want to ask him. It's uncomfortable for me. What happens? He's not successful. The person doesn't survive. Hashem. What do we say? The medical director comes to him. He says, why didn't you call somebody to help you? Why didn't you call the more experienced doctor? Why did you only do it to yourself? So he says to him, I remember, but it was uncomfortable to ask for help. He says that the director tells him, it's not that you could ask for help. You must. You must ask for help. It's negligence if you don't do so. So therefore, the same thing as the Kadosh Baruch Hu. People think, oh, it's nice to rely on Hashem. It's nice if you want to, you can rely on Hashem. No, you must rely on Hashem. If you do not rely on Hashem, so Chas v'Shalom, something could bad really, really happen.